Hey y'all, welcome to our ranch. Today we're going to talk about our John Deere 3025E tractor. Be sure you smash that like button and subscribe. Hi y'all, welcome back to our ranch adventures. Today we are going to do a 1-year review on our John Deere 3025E tractor with our 300E loader. This tractor has been an invaluable tool on our 46-acre ranch in East Texas. We have used this tractor for multiple things, including clearing trails. We've used it for removing stumps and trees. We have used it for moving gravel, dirt. We have used it for mowing. We have used it for prepping ground for a food plot for deer. We have used it for unloading heavy objects such as a deer blind. We have used it for digging ditches. So there has been numerous projects that we wouldn't have been able to accomplish without this tractor. We've also used it with a post hole digger to dig a few post holes when we put in gates. Our grandson, he's 4 months old right now, and we actually did a video. It's an hour-long loop of the tractor idling, and if he gets fussy or sleepy, we just put that on, or his mom or dad puts that on, and he falls right to sleep. Or it just calms him down. If he's fussy or crying, it just instantly calms him down. I got something for you. That's right. Sorry, proud grandfather moment there. This tractor is a little dirty, and we apologize. We don't have a good way to clean it. We do have another video where we had a little Ryobi pressure washer tool that we used it to get a lot of the dirt and muck off, and you can check that out if you're interested. But it is a little dirty. It is a workhorse out here. It does get worked hard. In the year that we've owned it, we put just under 50 hours on the tractor. We have had zero issues to speak of with this tractor since we've purchased it. We did purchase it brand new from the dealer. As me, I'm a big guy. You might be able to tell I'm a full-figured dude, right? So I'm 6'4". I got a big foot. I got a big foundation. And the issue that I had with like the Kubota is the treadle pedal design, which is like a one pedal where you have a heel for reverse for the hydrostat, and then you use the front of your foot for the forward. My foot didn't fit that, so it kept getting hung up in the mechanism. So come on around here, I want to show you. The John Deere 3025E actually has two separate pedals, which made it a whole lot easier for me and my big feet. You have one pedal for forward, there's an arrow on there that shows you forward, and one pedal for reverse. So there wasn't a single pedal sitting right here in the middle of the floor for my feet to get tangled up in. That was probably at first the single biggest feature that got me leaning towards the John Deere. Some of the other features, this one has got the industrial tires on it. I have heard people say that these don't get near the traction that the ag tires do. I don't have any way to compare that. I do know that when I start pulling in the box blade that sometimes these do spin and don't grab. I don't know if going to ag tires would change that. But that is just one thing that I've read and seen from other people. This tractor is a 25 horsepower diesel. It has a 3-cylinder engine in it that is built by Yanmar. It is actually not a John Deere built engine. The engine itself does not require DEF or any type of after treatment like a lot of the higher horsepowers do now because of the EPA. Here's the engine compartment. The battery is up front where it's pretty easy to get to. Of course, your coolant's right here. Here's the engine compartment. You can see it's pretty compact and tight in there. I can remove these panels if I need to get in there to work on it, and they're pretty easy. Just a couple of little twist buttons on each side, these yellow buttons here, and I can take those side panels off to get better access. It does have headlights and the flasher light. One thing that I was a little leery of was the plastic on the John Deere, but I gotta say that I'm kind of glad that I went with the John Deere and the plastic. It's a pretty thick, durable plastic. And I was removing a couple of trees, and I've been going through the woods before, and I've had branches and sticks come crashing down on here, and it just hits and bounces off and no damage. I think there's been a few things that have hit this, like there's a little gouge right there. A few things where if it was metal, it definitely would have dented it and tore it up. And a few times where I've kind of got in some tight quarters where the fenders have gotten in some close scenarios and they've got a little bit of give to them and didn't do any damage to them. I think if they would have been metal, that it would have caused some damage to the tractor. This loader has been phenomenal. I think they rate it as like 1,300 pounds, and that's at the pen. And what they mean by that load rating is at the pen is right here. So that's where that rating is. I can fill this bucket completely full of gravel or clay or mud or whatever it is that I'm picking up, and I have no issues whatsoever. Now, I've never used the bucket without a counterweight on the back, and when I say counterweight, I always have the box plate on the back because that's the heaviest implement that I have, so that gives me some balance. I don't have any ballast or liquid in my tires or anything like that, so I've just got air in my tires, which hasn't been an issue for me yet, where I run the box plate on the back whenever I'm using the loader. So the loader has plenty of lift capacity. It's done everything that I've asked it to do. We go back to the 25 horsepower. A lot of people say get the biggest horsepower you can. Well, I went with the 25 horsepower, like I said before, because I didn't want to mess with regenning. I didn't want to mess with the def. I just didn't want all that extra headache, because there is some maintenance nightmares that can come along with having those Tier 4 diesel engines that require all that. So that was one driving factor for me to go with the 25 horsepower, which does not require all that extra emissions stuff that is required on the higher horsepowers. As far as the gears go on this tractor, it has a 2-speed hydrostatic transmission. So right here you have low, neutral, and high. It's very easy to shift. Low is where you're going to be when you're doing most of your work and you're heavy duty pulling or moving. Then of course you have your neutral, and then your high, and that's going to be more of your transit mode when you're moving in between jobs or you're not really performing any work. So very simple, just 3 positions. It does have to be in neutral to start the engine, but that's all there is to it. This right here is where you engage the 4-wheel drive. It's just a mechanical engage. You pull it up to lock it into 4-wheel drive. To put it back into 2-wheel drive, you push it down. And that's all there is to that. Then your emergency brake right here. Just very simple. When you park it, you just set your parking brake. Your instrument cluster is very simple. You just have a tachometer. You've got your engine hours here, and then you've got a temperature gauge. Over here you have your controls for your lights. I do wish in this area right here they would have put the fuel gauge. However, the fuel gauge is located back here on the fuel tank. It's not a big deal. It's still easy to read and everything. It just would have been nice if it would have been up here on the instrument cluster. There is a foot brake here, so that if you need it, you can use it. This also, if you push this half down, it works as a dip lock. So if you're going along and you get uneven and your main drive tire comes off the ground and you need to engage the other side, you push this down halfway and it engages both rear wheels, which is fantastic. I've used multiple times. You have a seat adjustment here. It does have a safety mechanism under the seat that if you are in gear and you stand up or take your weight up off the seat, it does kill the engine. That is a safety feature that it has. This right here is your engine throttle. So that's how you adjust your engine speed. RPM is just with this little lever here. The key switch is down here, and if I had really any complaints about this tractor, it would be the location of where that is. One, for a taller guy, when I'm sitting up here in the seat, it's hard for me to see that to get the key in. So, and the other thing is it's right down by your knee, and when you're running a tractor, you tend to do a lot of moving and twisting and seeing what's going on behind you, and it's kind of in an area where I feel like your knee could hit it and possibly break off the key or knock the key off. Going back to the other side, this right here is a single PTO switch. This does have an electronic PTO. So it is a simple push the switch, activate the PTO or your power takeoff. That's what you use when you're running any implements on the back, such as a brush cutter or anything like that, and then turn it off. It's just a toggle switch, real easy to use. So as far as your 3-point hitch, this is the control for that. Very simple. Pull it back to raise it all the way up. To lower it all the way down, you just move it all the way forward. If you have something that you want to set at a certain depth, say that I've got the tines down on the box blade and I don't want it to go too deep, it's got a little mechanical stop that you can set, so you can only go down to a certain level every time. Very easy to set. So this is your controls for your loader. So it's pretty simple. Pull it back, that'll raise your boom. Push it forward to lower the boom. And to tilt the bucket forward, you pull it to the right. And to pull the bucket back up or tilt it up, you push it to the left. This right here is a lock mechanism. It basically just locks out that, so there's no chance of you accidentally hitting it, or maybe a tree branch or something like that hitting it. This also has a float feature that you can push it all the way up. Push it all the way up, and that'll allow the bucket to float over whatever surface that you're wanting, whether you're pushing or dragging. Of course, you've got your ROP or your rollover protection device, which is standard. When we bought our John Deere tractor, it came with the triangle on the back. It also came with the tow bar on the bottom, and I know a lot of dealers and a lot of tractor manufacturers don't include those things, but those did come standard with our tractor. Another thing that I liked about this year model and this particular tractor is the fact that the fuel fill was not on the hood. Now, earlier John Deere models, the fuel fill was located like right here, which I don't find to be very convenient. This can be a pain in the backside sometimes putting fuel in, but I do like it here. When we bought the tractor, we had it, we got the iMatch quick attach hitch for it. This is absolutely wonderful. If I wanted to take this off, this box plate off, I could open those up, which opens these locks down here. I don't know if you saw that. Opens that lock. And then if I lowered this, I could just pull right out from underneath this box blade. And then the same thing for hooking back up. If you just line this up with the top there and you back under it, it's going to really line everything else up for you most times. You can back up under it, pick it up, close these, which locks everything back in, and you're back up and working. So I'm really happy with this. The only time that I've come across where I can't use this is I borrowed a post hole digger with 12-inch auger, and it will not work with the iMatch quick hitch. So I did have to remove the quick hitch to use the auger. As far as attachments with the tractor, when we purchased it, we got this box blade, which is a 60-inch box blade. We got the iMatch, and then we also got, and I'm sorry it's filthy right now, but we've got the brush hog right there. The brush hog that we got does have the slip clutch with it, so that means that if you're going along and you hit a stump or something like that, that it's actually got plates or a clutch that will slip instead of breaking anything. Or some models have shear pins, which is basically a bolt, and if something like that happens, that bolt snaps, and then you have to put a new bolt in there after that happens. So this does have a slip clutch in it. I was brush hogging and I did hit a stump, so it did save my equipment. A lot of the other tractors use the skid steer type connection. This uses a hook and pin, which is proprietary to John Deere. It is very simple to use. Basically, there's a pin down here on both sides. You just pull that pin out. I've got pressure on here now, so it's not going to come out. Pull it out on both sides, and then you tilt, and the bucket will swing out, and then you can just lower it and pull right on out. It's a real simple process. That key thing I was talking about. So also this 3025E comes with a brush guard on the front. So I don't know how effective it is. I do wish that it was probably enclosed with some expanded metal or something so that things couldn't get through there, but so far I haven't had any issues with that. Like I said, as far as functionality and everything, we've had zero issues with this tractor. It starts up first crank every time. The only thing that I have done is I grease it every 10 hours. A couple of other attachments that we did get with the tractor, or for the tractor, not necessarily with, is we did get pallet forks, which have come in handy. We have used them. They're great for lifting pallets and heavy loads and things like that. We also got a stump bucket, and that works great for removing smaller tree stumps and digging trees out, or you can even use it to dig trenches or ditches. I do have a trailer hitch attachment for the quick hitch, which I can remove trailers around with. And then I do have a electric winch that I could slide in that if I needed to for any reason. Some of the other attachments that we would like to get for this tractor include a disc for preparing our food plots for our deer areas. The other thing that we would like to get is a land rake for clearing and removing debris. We would also like to get a front bucket, or there's an attachment that goes onto the front bucket of the tractor, and it's actually got 4 side blades, and it would come up the side. And I don't remember what the name of it is offhand. I should have looked at that.
Bad to the bone accessory.
Bad to the bone accessory. That's a good name for it. But it's got like 4 blades that come up here, and there's like saw blades, and it's for going down trails to clear the sides of trails to keep the growth back. So
Totally want one.
yeah, we would love to get one of those eventually. We'll see what happens. We've got to work that into the budget. Overall, I couldn't be happier with this purchase. You know, I was making a joke to my wife that, you know, for somebody who didn't want to even look at John Deere, I think if you cut me right now, I'd probably bleed John Deere green. So very, very happy with this tractor, very happy how it's performed. I have not had any issues with the power of this tractor. Of course, there are jobs that do require higher horsepowers, but I haven't found anything that I haven't been able to work around with this. Typically, if I run into an issue with this tractor, it's because I'm dragging the box blade or something, and I run into an old stump or a root or something, and it'll bring me to a halt. But that's going to stop any of these smaller compact tractors, honestly. 4-wheel drive works fantastic. I have almost got this thing stuck a couple of times, but I've been able to get myself out of any situation that I've been in. I would highly recommend this tractor. One last thing, if I were to say that there was something that could be improved on, would be the storage. It does have a toolbox right here. This is kind of a little plastic box. It would be nice if there was some more storage area up here, someplace safer to throw my cell phone or something like that. You do have a drink holder and a little compartment over there.
A drink holder? Fancy. And you talked about putting like a chainsaw.
Yeah, I'm thinking about putting a little auxiliary toolbox or something on here on the side. It would be nice if there was someplace safer to throw my cell phone, but I can probably find an accessory to do that. I'm just afraid that it's going to jump out of that box because tractors don't have any suspension. So, I mean, you hit a rut or something and you're going to feel it. I mean, you know, these aren't...
Well, you don't have an air ride seat.
I do not have an air ride seat. You are correct.
Yeah, I got to get fancy for that.
I'm correct. Well, maybe for Christmas you can get me a tractor with a cab and an air ride seat,
Anyway,
AC and heat and
on.
an AM/FM radio. That'd be really.
Did you hear that, Santa?
Yeah, that'd be cool. No, I'm super happy with this tractor.
Why don't you hop up there?
Hop up there. I'm gonna hop up here. What am I gonna hop up here for? As you can see, it's a little tight in here right now. So as a famous philosopher, Van Halen once said, I'm gonna reach down in between my legs and ease the seat back. Some of you might get that, some of you won't. But like I said, this tractor starts every time, no problem. Does have to be in neutral. There we go. Now we're gonna do a test. So Tony has actually never ever driven this tractor. So I'm gonna do an experiment and we're gonna let her jump up in here and we're gonna let her start it up and see if she can figure out how to put it in gear and lift everything up and...
So you're saying my Are You Smarter Than a Fifth Grader level will depend on the ease of user-friendly how...
We're gonna say if you're smarter than your husband.
Uh-oh.
All right?
To be clear, well, never mind. Probably not when it comes to tractors.
Actually, you are smarter than me. However, I question that sometimes. When I think you looked at me and said, wow, he's the one, I'm kind of got to question your judgment there.
Or you could just say I'm Wonder Woman. You wonder what I'm thinking about all the time. So, okay, I can turn this on. Well,
seatbelt. Seatbelt. Safety first.
Okay. Tell me what is next.
Lift the front bucket and the back. Yep. It's good. You want to keep the bucket down low when you're moving around. That's good. Pick the back up.
That's this one?
Pull it all the way back. Now you put it in gear? Nope. Did you put it in gear? No.
Hey, you ready?
Give it some fuel. Good job, babe.
So, thanks for watching. If you like our content, please like, subscribe, leave us a comment about how awesome my driving skills are. You too can attempt to drive a John Deere tractor because it's easy peasy, ready for everyone. Again, thanks for watching. Go have an adventure of your own.
Bye.
Bye.